Hi guys, Virginia here and I'm back with another 12 by 12 process video for you today, and this is for the Kitaholic Kits design team using the gorgeous December kits. So they're packed full of the Paige Evans Whimsical collection, and I thought I might use one of the exclusive cut files this month, and we've got this lovely title that says create, and it's got a paintbrush, so it goes perfectly with this kit, because Whimsical's got a bunch of crafty themed things like paints and pens and scissors and things like that. So that's what I'm going to do. So the cut file I've just cut out of American Craft white cardstock on my Silhouette Cameo, and I'm just kind of deciding what I want to back it with. Because it's one whole word, I kind of need a singular pattern paper to go behind it, and I settle on this dark pink magenta plum-ish colour cardstock. I don't know, it's a pink. It's a dark pink. There we go. So that's what I'm going to do. So because it's a little bit hard to manage, I've just kind of laid it out where I want it, and then I'm just going to pull up the pieces of the white cardstock and just put some glue on those edges and adhere it down. So it's a pretty simple process once you get started. And there we go, it's all glued down. I haven't glued down the paintbrush. I'm going to back that with some different pattern papers, but I'm just going to use my scissors and basically trim around that word create and cut off the pattern paper, or the excess pattern paper that I don't need. So that's a pretty simple process too. So I'm just going through and cutting out the little bits of the centre of the letters, and now I'm going to back my paintbrush. So I'm using some of the cut apart pattern papers that come in the Project Life or Pocket Page kit, sorry, and there's some, it's kind of repeats of the pattern papers that are in the Scrapbooking kit, but I really like having them because then I don't feel so bad cutting into 12 by 12 pattern papers to back a cut file, so it's really handy to have. So there we go, that's all done. I've used those pattern papers and it's turned out beautifully. My paintbrush looks like it's got a bit of a blue tip, but that's cool. So now I'm going through and looking for pattern papers to basically serve as my background. Now I really love this blue butterfly, and the word create really pops off it, but I was a bit worried that those butterflies were going to be too overwhelming, and if I put any embellishments on top of them, they'd get lost. They definitely would get lost. So I'm just thinking about it for the moment. I'm going to back that cut file with some adhesive foam just so I can prop it off the page, and that gives me the ability to tuck things underneath it quite comfortably. So there we go. Still thinking it's a bit too dark, it's a bit too busy, but I really want to bring it in somehow. So I've pulled in this pink pattern paper from the Dear Lizzie New Day collection, and I like that. I've already used it on a layout already, and I thought about maybe fanning some papers, and that gives me the opportunity to bring in some of that blue butterfly print in the background. And I thought 3 might be good, but I decided no, we're going to stick with 2. So the light pink's going to be my initial base, and that's going to be on a bit of an angle, and then that brings in 2 sides onto that layout with a pop of that blue butterfly pattern paper, if you can see what I'm getting at. And I like it. That pink serves as a nice neutral, but it allows me to bring in the colours that I want. Okay, and there we go, my ATG's run out. Convenient timing. So I'm going to have to go to my double-sided tape, and I'm just going to basically adhere those 2 sides, and because I don't want to waste paper, I'm going to just trim those sides down so they get a 12 by 12 first. Trim off that excess pink, and I'm going to do the second side, and then I'm just going to basically kind of gut that butterfly paper from the back. I'm just cutting up to basically where I've adhered it to the pink, and there we go. I've got a whole bit of butterfly paper left over. I haven't wasted it. Okay, so I'm looking to back my photo now, so I'm going to, sorry, I'm going to have to fuss with double-sided tape for this layout. Use again some of those cards from the Pocket Page kit, and I've brought in a rainbow, and I'm going to bring a pop of pink, and I'm just going to trim off the excess of that, and then I'm going to bring in that butterfly pattern again, so that's kind of cementing my photo to the layout, if you will. Now I like it. I immediately felt like my photo fit best up above the word create. It was like a nice little spot where that paintbrush hit the title, and so it's going to, I'm not going to try to find a place for it anywhere else. I'm just going to go straight into embellishing. So I thought I really want to include the word create in my title, and I went through the chipboard stickers for Whimsical, and there was another, like, is it rose gold or gold word create, so I thought I might emphasize the word create again, and I've popped that on top of the word, my cut file word, and then I've just used the little mini rainbow thickers to spell out a colourful life. So there we go, create a colourful life. The photo I didn't mention, but you can probably gather it's of my daughter Edison. She's sitting at a little table and she's creating and colouring and stuff like that, so it's perfect to go with the story I'm telling. And now I'm just going to flick through the die cut pack for Whimsical and just kind of pull out pieces that I think I can use. So I'm definitely, this is a good opportunity to get some of those arty-farty type pieces out of the die cut pack and to use them. So I've pulled out a bunch of them. I've pulled out some butterflies as well, because I really want to bring butterflies into the layout. They're on that background pattern paper, so I want to bring them onto the page, and so that's why I've pulled some of them out, and now I'm just kind of fussing around and working out where I want to put them. I don't do a lot of layouts where I guess document creating, so I want to try and use as many of these creative embellishments as I can on this layout. Okay, so the butterflies, I'm trying to find a home for them. I'm just going to pop them in there. I do fuss quite a bit. I couldn't seem to get the balance right for me for some reason. So I thought fussy cutting, why not fussy cut? So I've just used a bit of that offcut of that butterfly paper, and I've fussy cut a few butterflies out. A few more than I needed, but that's okay. I can definitely use butterflies on most layouts. And now I'm just going back through the chipboard pieces, and I want to bring in some more pieces. I've got some paints and rulers, brushes, pencils, just kind of bringing them all in, and I'm stacking them to the left of the photos and putting a few up to the top right, and then I'm bringing some down to the right of that photo underneath the word create, and I'm looking at it and looking at it, and I'm just struggling with it. It's feeling a bit unbalanced. I feel like there still needs to be something over to the left. It's quite empty over there. So I do get to that shortly. Just popping in a little chipboard sentiment down the bottom. And I'm going to replace that die cut one with this chipboard one at the top. I guess says, isn't it lovely? That'd be something Edison would say. Isn't it lovely, mummy? Okay, so I'm looking, I'm still struggling, it doesn't feel right. I'm going to try and bring these butterflies onto the layout, and I fussed with them for quite a bit. I think it's all kind of part of the process. I'm trying to get the balance right, trying to get things to look the way they look pleasing to your eye, I guess. So I've kept in the majority of my process. So there you go. I popped a whole lot of butterflies on. I promptly take them off. I didn't like them. They weren't working for me. And this is when I decide to bring that cluster that's to the left of the photo. Just fixing up some foam. I decide to bring it down to that word C, and once I get there and I get everything adhered, it's bringing a bit more of a balance. I've got a really good visual triangle going on now with those three clusters. It's not a bit of a wonky one. This, with the arrangement of these three clusters, it's really drawing your eye around the entire page instead of just basically up in a vertical design to the photo back down to the bottom. It's really encompassing that word create as well, and I like that. It's a lot more balanced now. So I'm just bringing in some more pieces to kind of add finishing touches. I've got a chipboard faux washi sticker. I'm still kind of thinking, what else can I bring in? I thought some of these little square pattern swatches might be a good idea, but that quickly gets taken off. There is a point definitely where I need to stop embellishing, and it takes me a while to find that point. Okay, so I'm still trying with these butterflies. I really want to incorporate them, but I'm still not quite sure how, so I'm bringing them over that the line of the pink pattern paper, and I keep trying with them, thinking that that may be a good opportunity to bring them in. And then I decide that I don't like that. That doesn't work. But I do like that large blue one up the top. And I think maybe I don't need to bring in all of those butterflies. Just because you fussy cut them out doesn't mean you need to use them. Just a few will be more than enough, I think. So I'm going to stick that butterfly down, blue one. And I'm going to adhere this cluster down here to the left. Just probably a bit of glue under everything, make sure it stays. And I'm going to adhere down my cut file. I'm just going to pick it up and basically place glue under it and then press it down. I apologise, my voice is quite croaky today. It's quite late in the evening, and I've spent a long day working today. Yes, it's been a very, very busy day. First day of school holidays, but we had a full day of work. So we had Edison with us, and we had a lot of jobs to do. But yes, it's been a very long, hot day. Okay, so that word create is stuck down. And I'm just going to continue to glue all those bits and pieces. I've added a couple of smaller butterflies to that cluster at the left. And I'm just going to try to work at gluing down this photo cluster. I don't want to move anything for fear that if I move it, I will never get it back in the right spot. Okay, so now I can glue down the rest of that cut file. And kind of continue with my other pieces. Gluing them down, just placing glue in the center of the little butterflies so that their wings stay propped up off the page. And gluing down these die cut pieces, chipboard pieces. I had a bit of overspill of my glue, but that's okay. A little pair of scissors, and I'll just continue quickly with this last little cluster. Again, glue in the centre of those butterflies, just puffing up their wings so they're nice and propped up off the page. And I'm going to add a couple more just to bring some little pops of colour around the page. Now I want to bring in some smaller details, so I'm going to go through and pick through the chipboard stickers and pull out just some smaller pieces. So we've got some stars, some buttons, some other little circular elements, and they just kind of go with the I guess the theme of creating, especially the buttons. The stars are just a nice little detail, so I'm just scattering them around, bringing those clusters out and bringing little pops of colour and interest onto that pink background. So again, a little star, another little circular chipboard piece, I think it's a button. Yep. More butterflies, because why not? Okay, so that's it for my layout. I hope you enjoyed the process. Don't forget the link for Kitaholic Kits is always in the description box below. But until next time, bye guys.